Hey up, Rock God 2004 back with another video for you. Today I'm going to go through my Scream Factory box sets. I've got quite a few, but I don't have them all. But the ones I've got are pretty amazing actually. Before I show the first one, I want to start with an honorary mention. For the simple fact, yes, it's a box set, but it's only one film. And it's the limited edition Nightbreed. I didn't want to include it with it only being the one film, because a lot of people say, like, was it a box set with just one film? I haven't included the Halloween ones, because some of them are in boxes with a 7-inch vinyl. I'll do them if I ever do a full Halloween video. And I think I did actually show them before. So this is like a hard case, which is actually really good for early Scream Factory. And then you get the director's cut on Blu-ray, double disc. One's the film, one's extra features. It does have reversible artwork on that one. It's exactly the same as the outer box. And then you get the theatrical cut. I've only watched the director's cut once. Weird, but I enjoyed it. I've watched it twice. The first time I watched it, I didn't like it at all. The second time, I actually really enjoyed it. So the theatrical cut is just the one disc. And it does have reversible artwork as well. I'm not a big fan of Clive Barker, to be honest. I did read a few of his books back in the day, but I've never been a huge fan of him. And you do get a booklet as well. So for one film, it's actually a pretty decent release for Scream Factory stuff, because they don't normally give booklets or nothing with just a single film. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to include that in the actual full lot. That's just an honorary mention with it being one film, even though it's two cuts of the film. So that's Clive Barker's Nightbreed. So let's get on with the first full box set. First up, I think this was the first one they released. I could be wrong, but it's the first one that I knew of. And I'm glad, because I've seen the state of what most people's end up like, that I do keep the cellophane on. So this is the Halloween Amityville. Bell End. This is the Amityville Horror Trilogy, first three, obviously. I've not seen any past this. I don't think I'm bothered, to be honest. I wouldn't have minded the second box set that Vinegar Syndrome released, but something tells me they're not good. Anyway, there you go. This is when Scream Factory used to do like really flimsy box sets. So a lot of them like were just battered to death, whereas mine, as you can see there, where the cellophanes come off, it's like new. And this is a long out of print. So you get the original. These are all Region A locked. All Scream Factory Blu-rays, all Blu-rays are Region A locked, and they don't ship internationally. Not reversible artwork, but you do get like sort of illustrations in there. This isn't the greatest. I do like it. I do really enjoy the film, but I just think it's very slow and overrated. I thought when I first saw this that it was going to be a lot scarier than it was. And the second one, Amityville 2: The Possession, which for me is the best one of the three. Again, when I first saw this, I didn't like it. I saw it a long time ago on VHS. But when I watched it on this, I absolutely thought, wow, it was quite creepy actually. And there's quite a bit of I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. There's a relationship that happens in it which is wrong, let's put it that way, and illegal. But there you go. That's the back, and then the disc. It's just a single disc again. Again, there's no reverse artwork. Just illustrations, and there's the disc. So that's the second one. And the last one, which I absolutely loved as well. Yeah, it gets absolutely slated. It's Amityville 3 in 3D, and it's in 3D. And the 3D is amazing in this film. I can never remember her name. It's Laurie something. If you've seen what used to be called over here Striking Back, it's now called The New Kids. She's the teenage lass in that. Well, I'm saying teenage. She's like early 20s. She's the one. She's the girl who moves in with the uncle with the brother. Is there a photo on here of her? No. And there's a very young, I think it's Meg Ryan in it. But yeah, this is a really good sequel for me. Does get slated for some reason. If you watch it in 3D though, it looks great. And this is a really, really good addition as well. Again, the disc, no reversible artwork, just the same stuff. So to the best of my knowledge, like I said, I'm not swearing to it, I could be wrong. But I personally think that this was Scream Factory's first box set. If not, it was a very early one. And I'm over the moon to have it. So that is the Amityville Horror Trilogy. Next one, I got this without even seeing any of them. They're very strange, but they're enjoyable. This is the It's Alive Trilogy. I knew about the first one. Didn't know there was 2 sequels, but there you go. The first one is Thingy Cohen. What do you call him? Not Leonard. Hang on. You're all shouting at the screen now, I know. Well, you'll have to wait, because I'm looking. Larry Cohen. He made The Stuff and other strange but good films. So, again, it's a little bit better, slightly. Not much, though. Still quite flimsy than the Amityville box. So the first one does have reversible art. I've turned it round to that one. The original artwork, I think that was the poster artwork, but the one it came facing out was that one with the pram. And there's the beautiful baby. He's gorgeous. And the disc is like that. The second one, which is called It Lives Again. And there's the back. The disc. And the reversible artwork is very similar to the first one, but with more prams. If you haven't seen these, they're not brilliant, but they're definitely worth a watch. And the last one is Island of the Alive, aka It's Alive 3. The disc. This one doesn't have reversible artwork, it's just images. I think they've actually used the original cinema poster on that one anyway. I might have said for the third one there, It Lives, It's Alive, it was actually. So that's the next box set, the It's Alive trilogy. Next one, these are in no particular order. Boxes were getting harder now. This is the Critters collection. The first one. The disc. This does have reversible artwork, but I think it's very similar if I remember rightly. No, it's not. I lied. It's just got the teeth on the top there with no critter. And the houses at the bottom. It's actually really good, the first one. I've not watched them all. I just didn't get time to watch them all. I think I put the second one on, which I started to enjoy, but I think I fell asleep. Critters 2. Very similar, just it's holding a Dirty Great Big Silver 2. disc, very similar to the original. And reversible artwork, which is just like the ball thing, like an egg. Third, Critters 3, You Are What They Eat, classic title. You can't have tell now, I think these look like they're moving into the 90s. I don't know, just that writing, that font and everything, it's just so 90s. And nowhere near as good as 80s, I'm afraid. Disc. And again, reversible artwork, which is pretty terrible. Strange, very strange. And the last one, Critters 4, They're Invading Your Space. There's another Critters film come out since this box set. I don't have that one. I've never seen it. I don't know what it's like. I don't know if it's a reboot or another sequel. I'm not sure. Reversible artwork again, which looks like something the kids knocked together. And the disc. So yeah, they were starting to definitely up the ante on the boxes there. A lot better quality and a lot stronger. That's the Critters collection. Next up, and this is actually a really good box set. Again, a hard box. This is the Fly collection. And this has got them all in. So that you get the original black and white The Fly with Vincent Price. Really, really good film this. I really enjoyed this. And then you got The Return of the Fly, which I'm pretty sure had Vincent Price in again, which was also pretty good. I really enjoyed that one as well. Not as good as the original, obviously. Get round, man. There's the artwork on the disc. The third one, which is the worst one in the box, actually. This was like really slow, and Vincent Price wasn't in this at all. This is The Curse of the Fly. It's alright. I've seen worse. I've seen a lot better. It's not total garbage. It's just really slow. And by far, the worst Fly film out of them all for me. But I'm glad it's there. I'd rather have the complete collection rather than like miss one out because it's not great. I mean, I will watch it again when I watch the box set again. I will watch. I won't leave it out. And then you've got the excellent David Cronenberg remake. Just to remind you as well, if you fancy getting any of these, don't forget they are all Region A locked. So you must have a multi-region player. And there's a disc. I hadn't seen this one for years. I used to have this on VHS. And I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it because I'd forgot a lot of it. And the last one is the sequel to the remake, which is The Fly 2. And I thought this, for a sequel, was amazing. I've heard mixed reviews about this. Some people like it. Some people say it's garbage. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I think Eric Stoltz was fantastic in it. I think he's a great actor. And this definitely deserves more love than what it gets, to be honest. And there's the disc. Put it this way, I'm not sure whether I like this better than the original or not. But the original remake, I mean. But the remake and the sequel to the remake, for me, are definitely the best two in the box set. Followed by the original with Vincent Price in. the Fly collection. Next one, I was over the moon to find out that they hadn't left anything out. They'd put in the fourth one and the remix. I was over the moon about that. And that is the Omen collection. Again, nice sturdy box. Such a nice set, this one. So you get the original Omen. Evil little toad. The picture disc. Jolly pretty. No reversible artwork. God rest his soul, David Warner. Love that fella. Such a brilliant actor, very sadly missed. And then you get Damien Omen 2, which I love. I always remember that scene with that. It still kind of disturbs me today. It's not very nice. Eyes and all that. I love the artwork on these. It's nice to see they've stuck to the original cinema poster. There she is. It's shocking, that, I tell you. I also think that the lad who actually played Damien in this one, he did a really, really good job. Because he's like, his butter wouldn't melt 1 minute, and then he kind of looks quite sinister as it goes on. And the third one, which is my least favourite Omen film out of the entire lot, is Omen 3, The Final Conflict. This was the first thing that I ever recall Sam Neill being in. I remember when I went to see Jurassic Park, I always remembered it as the bloke who was in the Omen 3. I just found this really slow. Again, I've seen worse, I've seen better. A very young Sam Neill on the disc there. The bit that I always remember in this is the fox hunting scene. That kid in it wants slapping. The long-haired boy who looks like a girl, I could just bitch slap it and get great pleasure out of it. I can't remember which one. I think it's Omen 2. The scene with the lift. That is spectacular. Even to this day, I love that scene. And this is the most underrated and disliked one of the lot, and I absolutely love it. Omen 4, The Awakening. This isn't Damien, this is where the girl took the main part. And I thought it was a fantastic film, I loved it. I think it might have been a made-for-TV thing, I'm not sure. But this does not deserve the hate it gets, because I think it's a great film, I really do. It was like, although it was in the same vein, like you got the evil kid and that, but it was just something different. They could have copped out like all the other horror films and, you know, resurrected Damien, but no. They brought a new character in, and I thought it was great. I love that film. So that's Omen 4, The Awakening. And last, and definitely not least for me, I thought this was really good as well. I loved it. I saw this at the cinema. The Omen, the remake. I thought it was a really good remake. It seems to be all the ones that people hate are the ones I like. Like, I like this, Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I was very disappointed with Friday the 13th. I thought that could have been so much better. Yet, Friday the 13th is my favourite horror film series. Yet, I mean, it was alright. Wasn't nothing spectacular. But this, I like the kid in this one better as well, because he's like, he looks like such a canny little kid. But then again, wee turd. So that's the complete Omen Collection box set. Put them back in. The remake for the Very Slow 3. The Excellent 2, which I probably think it's my favourite Omen film actually. And the really, really good original Omen with the great David Warner. The Omen Collection. So there's only 2 left, so you can probably guess what they are. This one, even though they're out on 4K, it's still pretty sought after. This is long out of print. And this is the complete Halloween collection. This is the larger box, the 15 disc one. I love their artwork. Now, I've never had this out of the cellophane. I just cut round so you can take the discs out. And I have seen other people take that J-card thing off and seen the artwork. It's pretty nice, but I like to keep mine like that. So in this one, you get a fantastic booklet. My voice is going again, sorry. JC there, age 12. JLC, age 3. Really, really miss him. Wish he was still around. I think I missed a page there. It might be in a Halloween 2 page. Yeah. There's Mickey Myers walking down the holiday. Holiday? Knob. Hospital corridor. Halloween 3. Halloween 3. Love it. It's one of my favourite Halloween films. I think my favourite Halloween films are the original, then 2, then 3. I love those 3. I'd have been more than happy if they'd have left it alone at that. Halloween 4 is great, I really do like it, but I think it would have been best left as a trilogy, and if he hadn't have made it, we wouldn't have missed it. The mask in Halloween 5 is pathetic. Whoever made that wants a slap. Good God. Danielle Harris. Tiny. I think she's only about 10 or 11 year old when she made these, bless her. That might be the Curse, which is Halloween 6, which I like a lot better than Halloween 5 actually. H2O, again, really liked the H2O, but it wasn't brilliant. And again, the most hated one, Resurrection. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. Rob Zombie, love the first Rob Zombie one. I used to love the second one, but the more I watch it, the more it really gets right on my tit end. This all white horse business, just as an excuse to get a Fizzog in the film again. Leave her out for once. Nobody likes her. I used to think she was great when I seen her in House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Reject. Then she just gets on my wick. Tell a lie. She's actually really good in Lords of Salem as well. So, the discs, and I love the way they did this. They put all the discs in black Blu-ray cases, so it fit in better with the artwork. Absolutely amazing. And they've used all the proper cinema art on all the discs. Are they reversible? No, which is good. So, Halloween on disc 2, it's special features. You get some special features on disc 1 as well, actually. You do get the TV cut as well, but it's on the bonus disc, which you get at the end. So that's the first one. Halloween 2, one of my favourite Halloween artworks. Love that. I used to have the original rental VHS of that and I let it go. I also used to have the original card sleeve, the orange border one, the original media home entertainment VHS of the original Halloween. There's one on eBay now for about 1,200 quid. Halloween 2 on Blu-ray and Halloween 2 TV version on DVD. They basically filmed extra scenes. It's mainly dialogue to go in from when it went on telly so they could cut out the gore. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. What a film. And the 4K of that is outstanding. It looks beautiful. I've got the Waxworks miniatures of them 3. They are absolutely gorgeous. Just the one disc on this. But even this Blu-ray looks absolutely fantastic. The picture quality is amazing. But the 4K is something else. Colours on it, wow. This film for me, it just absolutely epitomises what Halloween's all about, and it just screams out Halloween for me. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I was so excited when this came out. Loved it. Still do. I love that artwork as well with his mask on there. Halloween 4. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. I do like the film. I hate the mask. The mask is terrible. But she was a great little actress. I think she still is. I think she's a great actress. But for seeing what she acted like as a kid in these, I thought she did a fantastic. I really do. I've heard people slagging Danielle Harris off, saying she's a crap actress. Some people get on my tits. Halloween or Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. This is the one that everybody was waiting for. Because this is a 2-disc edition. And you got the original theatrical cut. And they finally officially released the producer's cut. Everybody was so excited to get this. And since it came out, all the people moaning about it, you now get people saying, it's crap, I like the original better. I must admit, since I got this, I don't think I've actually watched the theatrical cut. Because I liked the producer's cut that much, that's all I've watched in this. So I do need to watch it because I've had this years. Halloween 6. 7 is Halloween H2O 20 years later. This is such an enjoyable film. LL Cool J is class in it. I really do like him in this. Josh, what do you call him? Hartnett, is it they call him? Yeah, Josh Hartnett. I think this was his first film. He's really good in it as well. As is his girlfriend. That's the girlfriend of another lad who's not even on the front cover, but it's the lad who's the young lad in the original Jumanji. I always remember seeing that. I was dying to see this. Another one's just a 1-disc again. So that is 7. 8th one, which I actually still really enjoy, is Halloween Resurrection. Gets on my nerves the way people go on as though it's like the Antichrist of films and the worst ever made. No, it isn't. If you don't like it, shut your face morning and don't watch it anymore. I'm not saying it's the greatest one by far, no. But I think they tried something different and I liked it. And it's still better than Jason X. This is a fantastic film. This is the first remake, Rob Zombie's Halloween. what a shame he had the cheek to go back and show you Michael as a kid and growing up and how he became and all. Oh, such a nasty thing to do. I loved it. And there's the back. And then you get disc 1 as the film, and disc 2 I think is special features, and you get, I think it's about a 3 or 4 hour documentary on the making of. I did watch it. And the last one in the set is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Now, the violence in this is really, really, I thought it was like, wow, how the hell did you get away with this? And I loved it when I seen it at the cinema. However, the more I watch it now, the more it just irritates me because of her, the way she's in it. And this all crap with the white horse. I remember as well, the last time I watched this, I felt really, really down. I mean, I think I was going through a little bit, one of my bad patches. When I watched it made me feel worse. It was just so depressing. Because I thought, like, the murder scenes in it were horrific. And it was just so bleak. So there's Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie one. And the other bonus disc that you get in there has got loads of stuff on, including the TV version of the original Halloween. Special features. It doesn't actually tell you what the special features are. This is the Halloween 2 special features. It does tell you, though, I think, what's on the bonus disc in that booklet. So, I shall stick all these back in here. And obviously, as everybody knows, they've started to release these Scream Factory as well on 4K. They brought them all out on individual 4Ks, except the 2 Rob Zombie ones. I think it's something to do with the rights. I hope they come out one day. But I do have the 4Ks as well, except I don't have that new box set. With the last 3 in Halloween 6, 7 and 8, which is like sort of Curse, H2O and Resurrection. I don't have that box set yet. I haven't been able to afford it yet. I desperately want it though. So that is the absolutely outstanding Halloween complete collection. This, people, if you're watching, this is how you do a box set. And finally, I've saved the best one for last. And it was the last one to be released. For me, the greatest horror film series that's ever been made. And it's the Friday the 13th Deluxe Edition collection. Artwork is stunning on this. I would have absolutely loved the posters that you got with this. But exclusive to Scream Factory, and the dickheads don't ship internationally, so I've had to miss out, unfortunately. You got a poster and a lithograph, and they were, oh god, they were gorgeous. I would have absolutely loved them. Never mind. All the discs with the cinema art and all in their individual boxes. These are beautiful, and the picture quality on these is the Blu-ray in this blows Paramount's 4K out the water. It's amazing. So I shall show you the contents, although many of you probably got this already. So first up is my second favourite film of all time, the original Friday the 13th from 1980. Most of these, but not all, but most of these have reversible artwork as well. This one is a double disc. You get the original R-rated theatrical cut and you get the unrated, uncut version, which is obviously the one that everybody watches. Nobody watches the R-rated one anymore. I did watch it once just to make sure the disc was all right. And the reversible artwork on this, I think I've seen people do videos saying, oh, and this is the UK artwork. No, it isn't. I think it's German. It's a German poster art. The UK quad is totally different to that. But for me, the original US poster is by far the best one. So that's the original and best by far for me, Friday the 13th. Next, Friday the 13th part 2. Very similar but with no image in the middle. I wish that they'd have used the one, there's a artwork kicking around which has never been used, where you actually see Jason jumping out of the water, how he looks in this one, into a canoe. The artwork, that's fantastic. Why it was never used, I don't know. Part 2. Now this, although it's only one disc, but there's the reverse artwork. And there's the disc. The gore scenes in this, a lot of them were cut, like the impaling on the bed of the couple. And I didn't know that when the first kill at the beginning, just in case you haven't seen it, I won't say who it is, but it's one of a well-known character. That went on longer as well, and these scenes were cut to get an R rating, and then they were destroyed by Paramount. And it's always been believed now for 40 years that they don't no longer exist. And then when Scream Factory are putting this together, somebody goes, I've got them on video. So somebody pipes up that he was actually there. I think he was a student or something learning, and he was there when they were making this, and he asked if he could have those deleted for scenes put into a videotape, and they went, yeah. So they put them on a videotape for him. He's had it in a loft all these years, so he allowed Scream Factory to have it, to take it off, to put it on here. They were unsure at first, though, because it was that old. They had to, at a very, very low temperature, they had to bake it, because the tape can stick together. So it was a bit touch and go. So when they took it out, they tried it, and by God, it worked. And for saying it's a videotape, the picture quality of the deleted scenes is excellent, but there's no audio. But there's no reason why they couldn't have put those deleted scenes in and dubbed the audio over from other scenes. It would have been so much better, because some of the kills that they cut out in this are brutal. That impaling on the bed scene is absolutely amazing, and the opening kill is fantastic. So for me, that box set was worth getting just for this. Picture quality on this as well is amazing. The first 4 films are 4K scans, and they look fantastic. Friday the 13th part 2. Friday the 13th part 3 in 3D. Never thought I was ever going to get to see this. Now, when I first got this, I was watching, I thought that opening scene doesn't look right. The titles weren't coming out. Turns out it was a fault. So they did a disc replacement program where you give you an address, proof of postage, and they sent the replacements out, even worldwide. So the new one turned up. Oh, what a difference. So what I've done is, this is a 2-disc set, part 3. You get the 3D version on one disc. I tell a lie, it's a 1-disc version. That's it. So you can either watch it in 3D or 2D. That is the corrected one with the real 3D. And that's the original one you got in the box where the beginning's dodgy. So I just put that in there and keep it with it. So I've still got like the complete set. A lot of people, when they got the replacement ones, they either sold because there was three of them got replaced, had replacement discs. Some of them sold the replacement discs, or sold the faulty ones. Well, they weren't faulty. No, I'm keeping them all. Thanks very much. Friday the 13th Part 3, amazing, amazing in 3D. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. God, probably my favourite Friday the 13th artwork. Again, there's some deleted scenes on this. There's the reversed artwork. And there's the disc. Now, when this came out in the UK in 1986, I think it was, this was heavily cut. And when I first saw this, I first seen it uncut, as uncut as it was, when I had the Laserdisc in the 90s, and I was absolutely gobsmacked at how much was cut out. Like the Jason death at the end, sliding down the knife, we didn't have that. It was cut. It looks fantastic. So that's the fourth one, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Another one that gets a lot of hate, but I absolutely love this film. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. They didn't use the original US artwork, so all the crybabies kicked off about it over there. I like this better than the US one, because it was a stupid mask that bore no resemblance. This is the same as the UK video cover, but the UK video cover was in colour. And I used to have the video posted to that, and I don't have it anymore. But yeah, this gets a lot of hate, but it does seem to be getting more love now. This is so entertaining. It's a fantastic, fantastic film. And I should describe this as sort of like when I first seen it, I said, I was like, oh, done it type of thing. Is it Jason? Is it not Jason? This was on the UK quad poster, that side. So they haven't used the US artwork at all. I wouldn't have minded if the US artwork had been the reversible one. And my only problem with that is I think it would look so much better if they used the proper UK colour one, because it looks really nice, the colour one. And there's the disc. And I didn't know this. The guy there who plays Vic the psychopath, he is also the skinhead. Is he called Death in the Return of the Living Dead? I had no idea it was him. And also, unfortunately, he's passed away. He died of cancer, bless him. And all the cast who met him, and he always plays the part. He plays nice evil. They said he's one of the loveliest people you could ever wish to meet. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. This is my third favourite one. Part 2 is my second. But this is absolutely amazing. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. I saw this at the cinema. It was on the Cannon in Stockton, which is now knocked down. It's where the Ark is now stood. It was on it was on as a double bill with April Fool's Day. Wow, what a bill! I had an absolute ball that afternoon. Two amazing films. I loved it. There's some deleted scenes on this, but I think they're only on video, and it's a shame they're missing. Because, I mean, some of the stuff that they've cut is nothing compared to what you get now. And obviously, people didn't see sort of DVDs coming out, so they didn't keep the footage. There's the disc. Another one of my favourite Friday the 13th posters, as well as it being one of my favourite of the series. Not reversible art, it's just a picture of Jason. Alice Cooper, 2 or 3 songs in this, which are absolutely amazing. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. This one was always advertised as sort of Jason versus Carrie. And this is Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. For me, one of the poorer Paramount ones. However, I do love it. And that artwork is awesome. I love it. Kane Hodder. I think that was his first appearance as Jason. So yeah, actually, I think there's only the original, which was a 2-disc set, because one part 3 was. Again, no reversible artwork, it's just Jason. And there's the disc. I tell you what, on Scream Factory do a box set. They know how to do a box set. Another one that gets a lot of hate, and the stupid, pathetic, childish title that people give it. Jason Takes Vancouver. How hilarious. Just because they had a poor budget and they had to film it there. Some people have a shit sense of humour. This is Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. This, as messed up as it is so entertaining, and I do really like this film. I think probably Parts 8 and 7, or 7 and 3. I can't remember which I've thought. Are probably the worst ones. I mean, Part 3 is a lot of people's favourite. It's not for me. But the Paramount 8, for me, are the best Friday the 13th you can get. I love them all. I was hoping as well that they would have sneakily put the I Heart New York artwork on the other side, but they didn't. But that disc, I love that disc as well. It's nice to see as well on the artwork. I think that's it there. You can still see the Twin Towers. Because I have seen some films that have had them in artwork and then like to take them off. Weird. So that's Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Another one which people don't like. In fact, they hate it. They say it's the worst one. Absolutely, totally disagree. I love this film. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. This was another one that had a replacement disc because the unrated version had one scene missing. So you got a bonus. You got a replaced disc with that one. Oh, this is a 2-disc. One's unrated, one's a theatrical cut, and there's the one that they replaced. I always watch the unrated one, but I think that's a great film. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. Next up, for me, this not only should never have been released, it should never have been made. This does have one of the best death scenes in it. If I say liquid nitrogen, if you've seen it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It looks amazing. And the flashback to Crystal Lake, I love that bit. Apart from that, I hate this film. I hate science fiction with a passion. It's crap. It bores me. Crap in my opinion. Don't cry. But this is exactly why I hate this film. Jason X. Which, in effect, the X is 10, so it's basically Friday the 13th, Part 10. It's so boring. It's dull. Slow. Overly long. Yet when I watch them all, I can't miss it out because it feels like I haven't watched them all. Again, and this was the last one that had the replacement disc. And the reason that this one was replaced, which I personally wouldn't have even noticed, had nobody pointed it out. There's a bit where there's two campers in sleeping bags getting hit against a tree. And in the original disc, you don't hear them grunting and groaning like, ugh, ugh, ugh. It's missing. They're getting whacked on the tree and there's no grunts or groans. So that was the reason they replaced the disc. for the grunts and groans. I'm laughing, but to be honest, I probably would have, like, once I knew about it, I'd have been thinking, that's going to bug me, that. However, that missing out of that does not bug me as much as that 4K of Dressed to Kill, where the one word's changed. That really does bug me. Even if I love this film, which I don't, it still wouldn't bug me as much as what the Dressed to Kill one does. But yeah, for me, the least said about this film, the better. Jason X. This one also gets a lot of hate. I love this. Some people class this as an Elm Street. Some people class it as a Friday the 13th. Some people don't class it as either. It's in this box set, and I'm glad it is, because I've always classed it as one of the Friday the 13th, and it's Freddy versus Jason. This is such a fun film. I don't know why it gets the hate, because it's just such a good laugh. Yeah, it's not what people expected, but you've got Robert Englund playing Freddy, for God's sake. You don't have Jane. You don't have Kane Hodder as Jason, though, which is a bit of a bummer, but never mind. At least we've got Robert Englund as Freddy. But yeah, I really do like this film a lot. I love it. I think the only reason these were allowed in the set, I think Jason X was as well, is they had to use the old discs. They wouldn't let Scream Factory produce their own discs, which I thought was a bit silly, but never mind. So these, I think it might be this in the remake, actually. These actually have New Line on they don't even say Scream Factory on the disc. But even so, I'd never had this on Blu-ray anyway. I've only ever had Freddy vs. Jason on DVD. But yeah, if you've not seen it, which probably most of you have, don't expect a masterpiece, or you'll be very upset. But do expect this to be an absolutely fantastic, entertaining film, because it is. It's great stuff. So this is, in theory, Friday the 13th, Part 11, or A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, 6, 8, whichever way you want to look at it. Anyway, Freddy vs. Jason. And the last film in the series, which is, if you're including Freddy vs. Jason, the 12th film. And it's the remake, Friday the 13th. This is one of the remakes that really, really disappointed me. Yeah, I like it, but do I love it? No. Nightmare on Elm Street remake, for me, is better than this. I know it's not Robert Englund, but I just like the film better. I enjoy it more. Again, there you go. They've had to use the old disc. They wouldn't allow them to make their own. And there is reversible artwork on this. There was reversible artwork on Jason X, but it was the same. It was just some of the print was a bit different. It's that one. That was on the teaser poster. Was that 2009? I think that came out. Yeah. So that's the 2009 remake, Friday the 13th. And the last disc in the box set is all the bonus stuff. This has got so much stuff on, as well as bonus stuff on all the films as well, don't forget. New interview with composer Harry Manfredini, new location featurette, Return to Crystal Lake, making Friday the 13th, the Friday the 13th Chronicles, Secrets Galore, Behind the Gore, Slice and Dice, the Slasher Film Forever documentary, Scream Queens, or Heroines Exposed documentary, Crystal Lake Victims Tell All, Tales from the Cutting Room, Friday Artifacts and Collectibles, Jason Forever. I think a lot of the features as well, if they're not on it yet, they're on those as well, are the old ones imported from all the old editions. And this has two. This is a 2-disc set for the bonus features alone. And behind the discs, you've got Alice in the Canoe at the end of part 1. which was also on the original Certificate X pre-certificate UK VHS rental, which was also uncut. We had it uncut before the States. When does that ever happen? So yeah, the bonus stuff in this, amazing. And then you get this fantastic booklet as well. This is, for me, my favourite box set that Scream Factory put out. It's my favourite films that they've put out, and just the content and everything. It's just my favourite box set. It's absolutely stunning, and I'm so glad that I got it. I thought, to be honest, when I seen it and I seen all the sort of hoo-ha that was going about it, I honestly thought by now it was going to be long sold out. But having said that, the Halloween one took a while to sell out. And then once it did, the value just skyrocketed. So yeah, this is still available if you've got a multi-region player. So snap it up while you can. The Friday the 13th Complete Collection. So there you go. That's it. That's my entire Scream Factory box sets. I'll probably do another Scream Factory on one day where I show all the sort of individual films that I've got on that label as well. I absolutely love Scream Factory. Not as much as I used to. They've gone off the boil a bit. But for me, it was like, if they released something and the UK one came out as well, it was the Scream Factory was always the must. But yeah, for me, them box sets, you can't beat them. The UK ones of any of the editions, like Critters and stuff like that, I think you can get them on DVD. No, I wouldn't touch them. And the Friday the 13th, it's just never going to be beaten for me. So yes, I do hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much indeed for watching, all two of you. I do appreciate it. And if you have subscribed, thank you so much. I love you to bits. You're a star. If you fancy subscribing, go ahead. If you don't, don't. And I will see you very soon on the next one. You all take care of yourselves. And I will see you very soon. Ta-ta.